so far, you know, I give Tom the submission of the night. I mean, that's a submission you don't see very often, and that knee bar was very impressive.
2 more fights before they'll take a short intermission here and come back with our pro fight card here at Snoqualmie Casino. Now that's entertainment. SnowCasino.com to get information on all the great events they have at this casino. It's the home of great music and concerts, comedy, and the fights. It supports the local fight game with the Rumble on the Ridge series.
You know, one thing a lot of these people don't understand is, you know, these amateur fights, these guys are out here, laying it on the line, you know, going out there, fighting their hearts out. These guys aren't getting paid. They're doing this sheerly for the fact of experience. They're trying to make their way to the pros. Basically, these amateur fighters are fighting for you fans out there watching. They get nothing except, you know, a sense of pride and joy in going out and fighting, competing. There's no prize for them at the end of the tunnel except, you know, a couple lumps and bruises and a medal. You know, they're doing this for you guys.
I always interview the fighters, and they'll always say it. Why do you do it? I like it. It's fun. I find that hard to believe. Many people find it hard to believe, but fun is one of the words I always mention. How many amateur fights did you have before you went pro?
I had 11 amateur fights. I won 10-1 as an amateur.
And I bet you remember the one more than you remember the 10.
Yep. Mark Forsythe beat me my second fight on national TV for a sport fight down in Portland. But I did rematch him a few years later in Olympia, and things went the other way.
There you go. Hey, ho. You know what song you're coming out to in the Key Arena in December? You get the choice? Or?
You know, not yet. A lot of my friends give me grief because I don't really get too into my walkout music. I'm just, you know, I kind of let my friends pick, and if I agree, I agree. But I'm too focused on the fight to worry about walkout music.
There's Ivan Salaberry. You can have to fight with the cameras will pick him up there working the corner. I thought Ivan was retired, and all of a sudden, oh, he's over in Belgium fighting or something.
Oh, yeah.
He's not, he doesn't like the R word. If he wants to fight, he fights.
Yeah, Ivan's a genetic freak. I mean, the guy's, not only is he a very talented fighter, you know, he's got great genetics, you know, he's got a great build, he's in shape at all times. The guy's a true veteran of the sport, and he still has a lot of fight left in him.
And I'm thinking there's a dye job on that beard over there.
That is a very nice beard.
What do you think? That's the leftover from Halloween, I think.
I think it looks good. I like it. Ivan's the kind of guy that can make anything look good, though. He really makes sure his fighters are very prepared. He makes sure they go through a thorough training camp. He brings his fighters up the right way, and you know, he's just a great coach, great ambassador for the sport.
One of the few fighters that has a move named after him, or he has a. He's one of the first fighters I ever interviewed when I just started learning what little I know about this sport. A lot of it's because of Ivan Salaberry.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is a bantamweight title fight scheduled for 5 3-minute rounds. Introducing first. Fighting out of the red corner wearing the black tights, he stands 5 feet 7 inches tall and weighing in at 134.8 pounds. With a record of 6 wins and 3 losses, representing Twisted Genetics, here is Chase Cowin.
Another guy with more experience against an undefeated fighter.
His opponent,
both guys
fighting out of the blue corner wearing the brown tights, stands 5 feet 8 inches tall and weighing in even 135 pounds. With an unblemished record of 4 wins, no losses, he's a member of Ivan Salaberry Mixed Martial Arts. This is Pete Nicasio.
And I've seen Pete fight quite a few times, and another one of those guys that always delivers.
I have as well. Pete, tough, hard-nosed Italian kid. And then you got Cowin, who, you know, I've seen one of his last fights. The guy's very tough, comes from a good camp. He's from Combat Fitness in Boise and Twisted Genetics. Trains with a lot of good guys like Scott Jorgensen. And then, like I said, you got Pete, training with the likes of Andy Pavez and Ivan Salaberry, Bree Smith. Guys, definitely, this is going to be a great fight. This could be one of the better fights this evening.
First jab from Cowin lands.
Ooh, and Pete with the big right hand. I'll go out on a limb and say this could be a pro fight. Both these guys are at that level that they could be fighting at a professional level right now. These guys could be collecting a paycheck apiece. Cowin coming from a very wrestler heavy camp, utilizing that bullying Pete against the fence, maybe looking to work some dirty boxing, maybe a takedown.
You got the taller, lankier fighter. He definitely has a quick jab. He's got a couple of those in.
Yeah, Pete's doing a good job staying tight, keeping his hands up, moving well. Nice flurry.
We're in round one of our 3-minute amateur round, 3 rounds.
If I was Pete, I would be thinking about bullying my way in and looking to land the big punches. Cowin's standing pretty square. He's landing good punches. But Pete, there he goes with a nice takedown.
Well, Pete's got tired of having a lot of those punches landing. He's already showed some wear and tear under his eyes.
Every time I see Pete, he's got a black eye. I think that's just kind of a common occurrence for Pete is to just have a black eye. Now that I think about it, I don't think I've ever seen Pete without a black eye.
He didn't have a nickname, so we'll call him Black Eye. Black Eye Pete.
Black Eye Pete.
Yeah, he's bleeding underneath that black eye right now.
And one thing, Ivan trains his fighters very well in all aspects of MMA, but they are definitely savvy grapplers. Very good grapplers. I would definitely, without just knowing what camps they're from, I will say Pete's going to have the grappling advantage. Pete's going for what I like to call the blanket position, being in half guard, draping that arm over, kind of threatening with the guillotine. I like to call that the blanket position. And it looks like he's working that Darce choke. And that blanket position sets up that Darce choke. When you fish over like that guillotine, it leaves an open window for you to sneak your free arm through and secure that Darce choke like Pete's trying to do right now.
He's going to run out of time, I think. Final seconds of round one. But he looked up at the ref like, I got him. And saved by the bell, perhaps.
Absolutely. Chase's face is definitely red. He's definitely on the tight choke.
Now, you might give it, possibly a tough round to score. You might give it to Pete. He dominated the last half of the round, but you wouldn't guess he won the round looking at him.
I agree with you, but I think the judges are going to give it to Cowin for the big punches. He did some damage. He caught Pete with a couple good punches, busting him open. It could go either way. I agree with you. It's Pete's round, but you never know. Chase did damage.
Those fighters opted to stand in their corners in the timeout, or in their, I guess in the cage. You can't call them corners.
Cowin's got a ring girl quality corner woman on hand. No disrespect or anything, but good looking gal to be
Very observant of you, Michael.
I'm always observing everything that goes on between these 6 cage panels.
Fights moving along tonight. Very entertaining. We've got a lot of variety. It's been a great fight card here at the Cowin Casino. Hope you're enjoying the fights. If you're at home on FightFlix.com, and let that be a lesson to you to get out here and buy a ticket.
Get out here and support these guys. So I tell you what, you might be enjoying these fights online, but they're a lot better live. You can really feel the energy. The tension right now between these guys. These are 2 high-level fighters. There's just tension. You're just waiting for something to happen. I'm expecting a big punch or a big takedown from either one of these guys.
You can tell there's 2 good fighters right here. Evenly matched, could go either way.
Great head movement by Pete. Pete using good head movement, working his way inside, and let loose with a nice 3-piece combo.
I think we just had some sweat raining on us right there.
Pretty sure we did too. That's okay. Comes with the job. Oh, nice exchange by both of them, but I think Cowin might have got the better of the exchange. That takedown was a little bit half-hearted by Pete. He's a tough, hard-nosed Italian.
And that's Italian blood on the back of Cowin right there.
Absolutely. Oh, he gets spun around a little bit. Showing good composure. Ooh, great punches by both guys. Wow, I'm impressed.
I'm not sure Pete wins the fight, though. It stays enough there.
Pete lets loose with a nice flurry of his own, but Cowin answers. You know, I think Pete needs to be first. He needs to stop being a counter puncher and initiate the punches. Counter punching is great, but he's losing these exchanges by waiting to see what Cowin's going to do. I think Pete needs to use his head movement and strike first. And as the old expression goes, if you're going to counter punch, you got to make it miss and make it pay. You know, if you're going to be a counter puncher, the key is to not take the punches.
That first jab's been effective, though. He's been landing it more often than not.
Absolutely, but Pete's doing a good job of catching on, starting to slip the jab.
Round two, fighters in the middle of the ring slugging this one out here around our second round.
You know, if I was Pete with the grappling chops, another thing I might do, let's start kicking the legs. Maybe start kicking the legs. If he decides to catch the leg and take you down, it's only going to benefit you. I think Pete's the better grappler. But, you know, right now,
there you go.
Looking for the big takedown. See, he pulled guard. That's how confident Pete is in his grappling. When he shoots the takedown, starts to get stuffed, instead of coming back to his feet, he pulls guard. He's looking to work the grappling. And I think that Pete has a very significant edge in the grappling. We got sweat flying all over the place.
He is a sweaty Italian.
Yeah, hey, I sweat a lot too.
Ooh. It's a big swoosh across the canvas out there from. You know what's funny? The rounds go a lot faster when you have a good tactical, even fight. And you see, the 3 minutes are up quick.
Oh yeah, the 3 minutes fly by fast with the actions like this. I mean, this is a great fight. I mean, these guys are really getting after it. I mean, you can show this fight to a group of people, and they would not think this is an amateur fight. This is a professional level fight. Both of these guys are at that level. This is a pro level fight. These guys are laying it all on the line.
All right, our fighters will get ready for what should be a pivotal third round here. It's been a very tactical fight. Both fighters have had their exchanges and their moments. Tough fight to call, and the judges have earned their pay tonight so far. We've had 3 interesting scoring decisions, and this one could be perhaps the toughest decision of all.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, this is a